Good afternoon, everybody. Excited for another match for the Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless tournament hosted by SpeedGaming and organized by Northman Zero. As we make our way through round 2 of the bracket, today we have BigChiefJahaley versus Czikubi, two runners whose skills I've had a chance to become acquainted with over the years and can assure you this is going to be a really fun matchup to watch. I'm Teeks88, and joining me in the commentary booth is Sharkid. Welcome.
Hello there, everybody. Yeah, this is going to be for sure an exciting match. Sorry.
Certainly. Yeah, there's a lot that can be said about the Warpless category, especially in terms of RNG, between how the Hammer Brothers move across the map and how a great pace can be spoiled by the hands in World 8. Stuff that I'm sure most of you probably already know. But one of the great things about Warpless is that there's no shortage of ways that you can route your way through the overworld and still end up with a very impressive time. And the same can be said about which items you pick up from the Hammer Brothers and how you decide to use them as you progress through the game. But yeah, more about that as we delve into the run. I do believe that both of our races are ready, and we'll be expecting the race to begin shortly, so hang tight.
Yeah, I already dropped that flag, so basically our runners are going to take like this last few seconds to, to catch a breath at the start of the race. And it's also worth mentioning that it's quite interesting that we get to see like this SNES version on Jahaley's side, right? Can you explain us a little bit of how the SNES version works?
Yeah, for the most part, it's going to be very similar to the NES version, aside from the fact that the screen transitions are a little bit longer, so it is a bit of a slower version of the game, but it's still perfectly valid as far as submissions for the speedrun are concerned on the leaderboard. Also, you're going to see a lot of sound effects and music that borrow sounds from Super Mario World.
Right, yeah, like the runners are pretty much giving up like the last reset, I guess, and yeah, this is about to start over. There we go.
We've officially begun. Alright, so see a pipe from Jahaley, but they're both essentially doing the same exact strats for 1-1, and just in a moment they're gonna... Oh, we see Jahaley taking the mustache route through 1-1. This is actually a really good strat to use in the randomizer for this game. Just do a full jump over the second half of that gap that we saw in the middle of the level, and it pretty much puts you out of harm's way. So Czikubi is going to be the first one we see into 1-2, and he gets the early P speed. This is a sub-pixel dependent trick, and it looks like they both get it. Very nice. So that's going to save them both just a little under a second.
Oh, and Jahaley's going for the Nisolta strat, like picking that leaf in 1-2, so he has a sure way to bypass that 1F level, because, that leaf route can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah, if you can at least show yourself a pretty safe and comfy entry into the warp whistle room, definitely a good idea to play to your strengths. Alright, they're both gonna make their way to the warp whistle room. Oh, and looks like Jahaley missed a little bit of flight. I think that could be partially attributed to that head bonk as he was fluttering his way up, but he gets up there, no problem. Ooh, it looks like we saw
the MFB tunnel from Czikubi, but yeah, he couldn't make it that much.
Yeah, the trick is pretty inconsequential. If you do get it, you'd save a couple frames. If you don't get it, you essentially don't really lose anything. Alright, pretty standard 1-5 from both of our runners. Czikubi's going to be the first one to make his way over the gap in 1-6. He's going to get that P speed, boost off that Koopa, and he's out of here.
Yeah, no belly flops today. Like, we are not expecting to have belly flops. We get to see that Jahaley got the early bro this time, so he's not going to be grabbing his fire flower before the castle. So, pretty much that's going to be like a whole different pattern for Jahaley for the first Koopaling boss. But when it comes to this SNES version, do you think that there's like the same Koopaling patterns at the end of the castle?
Yes, in the All-Stars version, the meta that you have for determining what the Koopaling boss patterns are is going to be different, just especially because of the differences in screen transition times, and that's going to throw a wrench in your muscle memory for the NES version. I want to say that some attempts have been made to try to map out the All-Stars version patterns, but I don't think that's been completed yet, so that might be something to look into in the future.
You get to see like the huge difference when it comes to the airships from the SNES version and the NES version. You know, like pretty much all the airships looks like the same, like as we are watching here in this World 1 airship, but from the NES they start to be having like changing colors, I guess. And ooh, Czikubi having a really nice and clean fire kill on Larry, and he's off his way to World 2.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, personally, I was always a bigger fan of the NES versions of the airships when you have the different colored backgrounds, and you know, sometimes the airships sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're, I don't know, green. I don't know, I feel like it gives them more character.
Yeah, same. I can totally say that that I'm a huge fan of the NES version because of that as well. And overall because it was, you know, like the version that I grew up with. So yeah.
Absolutely. Alright, so we're going to be seeing 2-1 right here. Pretty straightforward in terms of execution. Just simply entails rubbing that first block in order to build the P-speed. And then you can just make your way over those pile drivers and have a nice entry to the top using the note block. And yeah, very solid from Czikubi.
Yeah, we're about to enter from Czikubi's side to 2, the place of the Mode of Tears. Let's see if our runners are not going to be, you know, like going onto the Mode of Tears. So, oh, and Jahaley taking a little bit of a damage in World 2. We get to see some Butsy percent, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bit of a minor setback, but it's not really a catastrophic mistake. I mean, the only time you really need a Fire Flower in World 2 is just so that you can get a quicker kill on Boom Boom that saves you 3 seconds. All the levels that are coming up and which follow after the fort are pretty much, you pretty much don't need them in order to go optimally. So he'll be able to pick up another Fire Flower on the airship. Oh, it looks like Czikubi tried to go for early P-speed and got tripped up by that Dry Bones.
Oh yeah. But as you mentioned, like it's not going to be like that much of a stroll. And ooh, Czikubi just making it. Wow, it's going to make it a little bit of a scary percent over here. Not clipping through the Boom Boom, that's great. Jahaley doing the safe leaf grab damage boost. I mean the leaf damage boost in 2F, securing that early P-speed over there. And Czikubi going for the green rocket, nice.
So yeah, that's gonna save him about a half second over the standard strat. You can see you get through that pipe a lot quicker just because of how quick that green shell is moving across the blocks.
Now, World 2 is also well known for being a world where the Hammer Bros can be like in your way even if they're not needed, but it looks like from Czikubi's side he's pretty much safe, but from Jahaley's side like those bros are pretty much hiding from him, so let's see what's going to be the result. And we see a red rocket from Jahaley, let's go!
Yeah, interesting thing to note about the red rocket, is that it saves about as much time as the green rocket does on the All Stars version, just because you don't have those lag frames to deal with that you otherwise would in the NES version.
Oh, Czikubi playing like oh my god, playing scary percent through this 2-4, because 2-4 it's an easy level, you know, to be like to have like that annoying hitboxes from the enemies and, you know, taking death, but he managed it like a champion. We had like a little bit of a sound glitch from Czikubi's side. I expect to have many of those on this run.
Yeah, it seems Czikubi got some pretty nice Hammer Brawler RNG if he was able to go up to 2-4 in order to reach it. So he was able to play that instead of 2-5, which is about a second slower. See a pretty clean pyramid so far.
Get to see like a divergence in the routing for these runners. Jahaley going for 2-5 because the Ethan box. Ooh, and he takes it death because I think it was a drop input probably because he was pretty much building up his speed and he just fell into that Goomba. Taking that safety mushroom just in case and oh, and what? That was pretty much the same situation that happened before, and oh no.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jahaley's not going to have an opportunity to pick up a Fire Flower on the airship, so might have a bit of a scary Morton fight. But at least he's able to secure a pretty convenient Hammer Brother fight right after the pyramid. Doesn't have to go chasing them down. Oh, looks like he's choosing to forego the mushroom in the pyramid.
Well, there's a little bit of an advantage of going, you know, like through the pyramid small because you know, like you don't have to, you know, like you don't get to clip, you know, like yourself on those walls, but yeah, it's always good to have like a safety measure over there because you know hitboxes can happen and everything, but
yeah,
it's
plus
in
going
pretty good shape.
Yeah, plus going for the mushroom in the pyramid's a little scary, just because you have that. It's being safeguarded by that Buzzy Beetle right there.
Alright, we're about to enter to World 3, where it's also another world that RNG is a huge factor over here because the Hammer Bros, well, one of them can actually do this, what we call the Runaway Bro, because, yeah, that guy normally just disappears from the map and he never comes back, and it probably makes you, you know, like, one, it forces you to take an intentional death, or two, you have to bypass them, both of them, so you can, you know, continue on with this work. But at the same time, yeah, you gotta play an extra level in War 4. So let's see how this goes.
Oh, we just saw a frame perfect jump from Czikubi out of the water at the start of 3-1, so it's gonna save him maybe not even a third of a second. If you do end up getting Runaway Bro, the best case scenario you could possibly ask for at that point is just to take a death in 3-6 so that the bridge opens up and you could cloud over to get to 3-8. But the worst case scenario is when Runaway Bro comes back up and then to the left towards 3-6, you have to fight him and then have to take another death in order to reopen the bridge, so it loses even more time.
Oh yeah, that's true. And Czikubi just pretty much he flew through that 3-2. Like I wasn't even able to say something about that because on one blink of an eye he was pretty much out of there.
Yeah, 3-2 is a very technical level in terms of building up P-speed and then know exactly how to measure your jumps in order to get those clean stomps on the cheap-cheeps. You have to be really wary of your height as you're stomping them and just what their speed is as they come out of the water, because if you guys collide too hard, then the game just registers as damage and you'll just fall right through and into the water.
Yeah, that's why we pretty much like the entire community just hates the cheap chips in general. Alright, and we get to see Czikubi in 3F1, the helm of door 3. And he attempted it, but he wasn't successful, so he needs to track back, take that pipe, and then go for door 6 maybe?
Taking that fried chicken door 6, as I've historically called it. But I can't call it that in this context because at least Czikubi did make one attempt at door 3, and I admire his courage for it. So yeah, that is a minor setback that did lose him about 11 seconds to, you know, swim back up to the hallway. But if he was able to pull off door 3, that would save him a good 3.5 seconds.
Alright, Czikubi's pros are pretty much in a really good shape. No runnies from his side. Let's see Jahaley's side. And they're both behaving as well, so our runners are not going to be having any issues with the bros, apparently. Czikubi with their bros pretty much all set. He's about to enter to 3-8. The place of the other like a hideous boss bass, and I swear that boss bass is always hungry and always comes for blood, in my opinion.
For sure. Yeah, 3-8 is one of those few levels that don't really incorporate P-Speed as a strat. The objective there is just to steer clear of those 2 ice blocks as soon as you can, and then just start jumping immediately every time you come in contact with the water. As long as you're maintaining rhythm as you're jumping out, then big boss bass will get close to you at at the very most, but never have an opportunity to eat you. Meanwhile, we see 3-9. It's home of the infamous H-jump. So you'll see Czikubi build P-Speed right away, and then, yeah, he's able to make it right over the gap. And he doesn't have to worry about digging his way through the ice blocks in order to get to the exit pipe, and that's going to save him a good 5 to 7 seconds, because that could also generate quite a bit of lag as well.
Ooh, Jahaley right now entering to 3-4, and he had a little bit of a hiccup in that little pond over there. And now we're going to see some butt sliding technique over there, so you can bypass those Goombas. And yeah, like he's on good shape to finish up the level. Really nicely done from Jahaley.
He's having a pretty clean World 3 so far. So yeah, as you had mentioned, Char, Jahaley's going to have some good Hammer Brother RNG. He doesn't have to struggle too much as he claws his way over to 3-8, and he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, now we're going to be watching like Jahaley bypassing these boss bays as well, getting rid of those ice blocks. Tried to snipe him out. He wasn't successful at the first time, but now he is. And I'm wondering if the same like spawn time for the boss bass is the same like from the NES version. You know, because when you kill the boss bass, it takes 7 seconds to respawn. So.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to time it myself, but I don't imagine there's much difference in the SNES version, if any. Yeah, Wendy, interestingly enough, is one of the easier Koopalings to fire kill in this game, but the hardest to jump kill normally. And it's an easy fire kill because you're on that flat ground, which makes it very easy to measure your distance and shoot those fireballs in pairs until she's down, as we just saw on Czikubi's side. It's also one of those Koopalings whose pattern you don't have to worry about because she can be fought the same exact way each time. The only downside is having to jump to killing her, however, aside from the 3-second difference, is the fact that she fires off those rings with the wand that bounce off around the room and never disappear until she's defeated. It's tricky enough to maneuver around them once they're there, but once she starts jumping, it's very easy to get caught off guard and take damage.
Alrighty, now Big Chief pretty much like going to meet up to Wendy right now. Also, it's worth to mention that from the Super Nintendo version of this game, all the sprites, like that the Kins are transformed, are pretty much elements from different Mario games. So we got to see, like the snakes from SMB to U. We got to see this hippo that I'm thinking that it's from Mario World, right?
Yeah, that's towards the end of the game once you get to, I think, Chocolate Land.
Alrighty, we're going to be watching here from Czikubi the 4-2, where we do a little bit of a despawn technique, where you double kill that shell and then you grab that ice block and pretty much it frees your way, like from those piranhas, and you get that really nice speed. Imagine actually doing that in PvP paces though.
Imagine. Yeah, 4-3 is one of the more aesthetically appealing levels to run through in the game. There's never any point at which you have to slow down or do any turnbacks. It demonstrates good knowledge of the level layout and your surrounding hazards, and when everything is executed precisely, from the stumps on the Buzzy Beetles to the carefully timed jumps on the smaller platforms, it just flows really well, looks very nice.
Yeah, just like that, you get to watch like that nice 291, and it's incredible. Now Jahaley having a really half and half Wendy kill, like like a little bit of a stomp on her and then just mashing the B button to fire kill her, and that was really neat to watch. Ooh, and we got to see Czikubi doing like the Mario 4-4, the insanely dangerous technique 4-4-4, but wow.
Yeah, that was a pretty gutsy move on Czikubi's side. So yeah, Maru is one of the is someone who's tasked SMB3 before, and he introduced this as a RTA viable strat about 2 years ago. If you're able to pull off that double snipe on the Spiny and the Lakitu as you're jumping out of the water, you get an extra boost of speed as you're swimming across, and it also makes the Lakitu cycle towards the end, pretty much trivial, and it does save you about a second in the process. But the timing for that is really tight, and you have to be really wary of your X and Y position as you're jumping out, because it's not something that you can do consistently. Every once in a while you are going to take damage from attempting that.
Yeah, that was a really ballsy move from Czikubi for doing that, but I'm glad that he got to showcase that, like he was a man on his mission, like like trying to earn some swag points of all the run, and he apparently got one because the door 3 wasn't successful. So right now we get to see him pretty much finishing off this boom boom fight. I'm thinking that he managed to escape both of the bros, but let's see. That might be going to his way, and nope, he is clear.
Yeah, that bro on the bottom could have easily crossed over 4 or 5 if it decided they wanted to be a bully, but yeah, fortunately that's not the case. So he's gonna not have to worry about taking a 10-second fine. Ooh, we saw a swag stomp on that Koopa as Jahaley was moving across the platform.
Yeah, really, really nicely done 4-3 for Jahaley. Like, that's always a really, really nice level to be watching, like with the P-speed strats that we were mentioning before.
Yeah, there's nothing more we can say about the World 4 airship that hasn't already been before, so I'll just go ahead and say it again. It's a good opportunity for the runners to recalibrate their coin count to the nice number, and we have 2 minutes and 10 seconds to just kick back and relax, and yeah, take a quick nap before we find our way into 5. Oh, and yeah, interesting to note about Jahaley's side. The level layout for 4-4 was very slightly modified in terms of the position of some of those platforms and the elevation of the water. So the way you would get onto that wall in the beginning is would have to be a little different. It would require a more aggressive stomp on that Lakitu. He still gets through there without a scratch, so that's the important part.
Oh, and Czikubi pulling out some airwalking techniques over there, and he gets to clip like through that like fire thingy.
Yeah, normally when you do the Rocky glitch, it hovers you over that jet fire, but once it expires, it just drops you. It just forces your Y position down a little bit, and that just puts you right inside the block pretty consistently.
Alright, I get to see that Jahaley, I think that he fought both of his bros, and he's pretty much in a really good shape of, finishing off this World 4. Starting with 46. Ooh, taking a little bit of damage over there, but he's pretty much like, I can, like, it doesn't matter, I have a backup, and he's pretty much nailing that backup. Wow.
Yeah, that was a very well executed backup strat. Yeah, the fortunate thing is that Jahaley will have an opportunity to pick up another Fire Flower as he makes his way to Iggy.
Yeah, right now with Czikubi pretty much entering into World 5 and Jahaley joining soon. Probably we're going to be watching like a divergency routing, probably because in World 5, yep, we get what is called the P-Win route. Can you explain us a little bit of how much this time saves? I mean, how much it, yeah, you get it.
Yeah, one of the biggest advantages of doing the P-Wing route in 5-1 is that you don't have is that the Hammer Brother RNG has less of an influence over your run overall, since you'll be able to skip the P-Wing and stars in both Worlds 4 and 5. The only trade-off is that since you're sacrificing that P-Wing in order to grab that extra music box, it forces you to clip in 7-6. So if you're pretty confident in your subpixel manipulation abilities, then that's definitely the route you want to go for in order to have more runs on the pace you'd like.
Alright. Now we get to see from the previous level from Czikubi that he pretty much did a little bit of a clip when he was trying to slide to get that music box. But yeah, like once that he realized he was just, I'll just recalibrate myself and continue on. And right now he's pretty much going to 5F1, like making sure, like doing the turn back, that not falling into that little lava pond over there. And yeah, pretty much flying through this level.
A very clean 5F1. Since both the Hammer Brothers are still asleep, you'll have pretty easy access to the Spiral Tower coming up.
Yeah, right now he will be using like his music box, and off he goes to the Twisty Castle.
So yeah, Spiral Tower is pretty tricky in that you have to build P-Speed on that first floor while avoiding the 4 rotodiscs as you make your way over to the small wall, and making sure that you time your jumps so that you can enter the vertical pipe to the second floor. Ideally, you want to maintain your P-Speed to the top of the tower, but those first 2 floors are definitely the most important, especially since you won't have an opportunity to rebuild it back later. Those thwomps that hang from the ceiling hang very close to the ground, so it's not that easy to just skirt by walking through them normally. Ooh, missing the vine there.
Yeah, missing the vine, and he, like, I'm pretty positive that we got to hear like some, like muted Czikubi noises over there, because missing that vine and pretty much, like falling and dying, it's pretty much such a 1 minute time loss probably or something like that.
Oh yeah, it has to be. I mean, it's a 40-second level normally, but yeah, having to do that a second time, it's pretty devastating. Definitely the biggest mistake you can make in World 5. So yeah, 5 has an early P-Speed strat that allows you to do a turn back on that first block you stand on, and then as soon as you clear your way out past the Paragoomba to build meter, you have liftoff before you have a chance to reach those wooden blocks. And yeah, the level is finished before I have a chance to finish.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, the divergence in the routing for World 5, we get to see that Jahaley's not going for the P-Win route, and instead he's going to be saving that, for later. And I know that he tried to like snipe that Meeper, but he was pretty much like he was pretty much like avoiding that fireball. I'm serious, like that snipe never lands, I swear.
Yeah, because Jahaley picked up all of the Hammer Brother fights in World 4, and he's saving his P-Wing by not flying up in 5-1, he's gonna have 2 to oh no!
Oh!
See, yeah, unfortunately, Jahaley's gonna have to take the Shaft of Shame there. So it's gonna cost him a bit of extra time, because going through that waterfall section and then just navigating through that tunnel full of the Buster Beetles, it's not only suboptimal, but very dangerous as well, especially if you're going in there small.
Yeah, as we could see, basically, like he didn't want to get like that, like taking that damage to that Koopa, because like I think that he wanted to stomp it like the way that he just did, but somehow that hitbox didn't work as well, like like with his game overall. But yeah, like those iframes when he was trying to recalibrate himself just didn't work out and made him fall. And yeah, with that death, Jahaley is pretty much like 4 levels behind probably.
Yeah, it sounds about accurate.
Maybe a little bit more, but it's pretty much a Warpless race. Anything can happen, because the RNG in World 6 can influence, like you can actually miss menu and, use the warp whistle, there's the hands, there's the clips, so there's nothing like reading up in stone yet, so.
Exactly. Alright, so we've entered the World 6 waiting room, so we'll see if Czikubi's going to go for the Wombat %. And he gets it, very nice. He's not going to go for those 1,000 points, though.
Yeah, like he's disrespecting the 1,000 like free points from the devs. So what's wrong with you, Czikubi? What's wrong with you? Now we get to see Jahaley pretty much using one of the stars that he collected along the way. I think in War 4. So he has a really safe P-speed like in the first section of the Twisty Castle, and now he's nailing pretty much like the second hallway. And the third one, like he's continuing keeping that P-speed. Oh, well, he pretty much lost it up to this point, but he was doing a fantastic job overall.
Yes, Power of Small Mario is pretty scary as it is, especially since you have to readjust your timing for the jumps in order to reach the vertical pipes. And between the Rotodisc and the Thwomps, it makes it extra scary, so I do definitely agree with his star usage there.
Alright, right now Jahaley pretty much entering into the level that I like to call the Soul Reaper, because we've seen cases, guys, we've seen cases, but since he's playing the Super Nintendo version, he pretty much was in a good shape because there's no lag frames in this version, so he was pretty much good to go.
Indeed. Yeah, 5-4 is pretty straightforward in terms of execution. That first platform you land on is just long enough to build that P-speed and allow it to carry you past the spinners and the wooden blocks as they come up.
Right, Jahaley pretty much grabbing like the safety measure over there in 5-5, taking the late P-speed, but pretty much he's in a really good shape to just finishing out the level. Well, Czikubi is about to enter to 6F1, but first we got a movement of 4, was that?
Yeah, I want to say like 4 or 5, I couldn't get a direct count though. So yeah, we're gonna see some pretty sweet damage boosting strats on Czikubi's side as he makes his way over the spike bed. It saves you a good 10 seconds over just letting the escalator carry you across. It's also advantageous to be small in the second room anyway, as you can see. He's gonna grab that star and he's gonna get an instant boom boom kill.
Yep, and we get to see a mighty orb.
Yeah, fun little trivia about the Boom Booms. They were never programmed to have a kill state like most objects. It's always meant to be a normal state, so Boom Boom was given 37 hit points, and killing him with 5 fireballs sets him at 32. That's the value that triggers his conversion into an orb, so when he comes in contact with that star, I do believe it sets him straight to 0, which is why we get that glitched out upside down orb. It's technically an overkill.
Right now, really nicely done. You know, from Czikubi from that 6-4. Well, Jahaley was pretty much. I mean, I was so scared of Jahaley's like maneuvers over that in 5F2 because also that's one of the levels that I don't know, like in races can, you know, like can trick you a little bit. And Czikubi just fighting a bro that he didn't need it, like that mighty star bro that it's always on your way. And he's about to enter to one of my favorite levels to speedrun, which is 6-5, where you do like that mighty despawn as well. Let's see how Czikubi just pulls that out like that trick. It's always so great to watch that the despawn technique. Like it was one of my favorite techniques ever, like since the beginning. So pulling that out in a race, it's also really scary because you don't wanna, you know, like have a little bit of an issue with those tail swipes.
Yeah, the time repercussions for missing the despawn strat, especially by taking damage, is yeah, the repercussion is pretty harsh. And yeah, even skilled runners who have done it a million times in their PB runs can still choke it in a race. So it's definitely something to really be careful of. Because if you swipe too late, your tail will just go right through the Buster Beetle, and you'll get hit that way. And if you're too early, then that's still not good.
Alright, since Jahaley was pretty much using the Super Nintendo version, we're not going to be watching the Wombat percent on his side, so that's a shame, because, you know, like, the community loves the Wombat percent.
They do. Yeah, 6-8 is a level, has a chance to go either really smoothly or becoming time-consuming if the step is missed when you're building your P-speed. Mario needs to grab that white block or the Koopa shell in order to take out those nippers scattered across the ground. Because of the way those small hills are set up, sometimes it's possible to just miss out on that speed meter build. Yeah, it looks like Couldn't tell if Czikubi took intentional damage or not, but yeah, he does get that first try wall jump.
Nice.
Didn't look like he went for any sort of subpixel manipulation there, unless he was doing some convoluted setup from the start of 6F2 or something, which I highly doubt. But yeah, you need subpixel values 0 through 5 in order to get that first try, and then of course the execution side of things. So he had about a 30% chance of getting that the right value, and yeah, he just happened to be lucky.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that the way that he took damage on 6-8, I'm not sure if that was completely like intentional, because as far as I know, like he was pretty much practicing 6-10, you know, like on his late night stream, like that I was watching. So yeah, like the fact that he got like the first try 6-9 wall jump, it's pretty much still of a time save over 6-10, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and Jahaley, we get to see a little bit of a oh, he's going for that mushroom house, and that contains a hammer suit on the Super Nintendo version. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah, me neither. I never really paid attention to the mushroom houses on the All Stars version, or if there was any differences in the power-ups you pick up.
Alright, right now pretty much Czikubi in really good shape entering into World 7, but we're about to watch one of the what we call the great equalizers of this game, and this is 7-1, where, babe, can you explain me the manip for that?
Oh, for 7-1?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's two different clips that you can do when you enter 7-1. You can do the duck clip, aka the wrong way, in which you move Mario one pixel to the right, and that sets you at a subpixel value between 0 through 6. And yeah, if you nail the execution side of things in 7-1, you'll be able to duck clip into the corner of the wall, and then you'll be able to clip right through and pretty much bypass the level. Alternatively, you could do the standing clip, which is my preferred method. You move Mario 1 pixel to the left, and that sets you at a value between 14 and 15, and that pretty much prevents the need to do that extra down input, which at the very last minute can potentially slow you down and change your value at the last minute and pretty much ruin the manipulation. Something I prefer to just avoid altogether, just 1A press and just one and done. Yeah, I always like to say that people who do the duck clip in 7-1 are the kinds of weirdos that like to eat pizza with a fork and knife.
And apparently Czikubi is one of them, because he was pretty much preparing for himself for a duck clip, and Jahaley just taking damage, trying to go for the 6-5, and that means that he's going to be pretty much having to take that alternate route over there, and it's going to be tough. Well, Czikubi, tried the, like the duck clip and failed, and then the standing clip, and he got it. So yeah, like choices, people, choices.
Alright, so I'll be interested in seeing what kind of 7-2 we're going to see from Czikubi. Looks like he's going to take the star strat, just do a nice quick kill on the Nipper, build up some P-speed, and yeah, he's out of here. Some nice P-speed and just have a nice smooth jump over that gap. Doesn't have to worry about building any bridges. And are we going to get some pipe-to-pipe action? We do.
Yeah, really nicely done from Czikubi. And right now, Jahaley had to track back a little bit, to grab his cloud. I'm guessing, like, he got to fight the wrong star, bro. That it's always in your way. Like, I swear.
Yeah, it's always soul-crushing, especially since you don't even have a chance to just see it guarding your path after 6-4. Well, Jahaley caught himself. He knew he wasn't going to build P-speed for that flight, so he was able to readjust on the fly. You'd love to see.
Yeah, and I mean, whenever like you're in that situation that you don't pretty much know, if your P speed is going to be building up, like for that 6F2, like it's always, I mean, it never harms anybody, just to go back and like rebuild it like the intended way, because yeah, like losing that losing that flight and dying, like onto that pit, it's so, like it's a huge pressure since you're pretty much like going to finish out like the game, because it's one of those mistakes that you don't want to happen like in a run after all.
It's so much scarier just watching any sort of run of the All-Stars version just because of the way the camera pans upwards.
Ooh, and Czikubi just showing off like the way that like once that you finish for Nox, you're pretty much doing like like a similar sub-pixel manip for 7-6, and apparently like he got to nail it the first try.
Yeah,
you love to see that.
Yeah, I saw Czikubi practicing the 7-6 strat, the sub-pixel manipulation for that. It looked like he moved 1 pixel to the right, so he had some sort of frame of reference for where he was in the cycle, so with a few extra taps, he was able to put himself on a sub-pixel value between 3 and 10, which is what you need for 7-6.
Ooh, and we're going to be watching some hammer suit action from Czikubi. That's something new for me, because I know that he prefers, playing with the fire flower. But in races, you always like to go for that hammer suit because you don't want to mess up with that Bowser pattern at the end.
So a nice flaggy glitch hammer as he was grabbing the card too. So yeah, whether you enter 7F2 with the Firefly or the Hammer Suits, the strats that are utilized to snipe out those piranhas in the pipe and clear a path for P-Speed as you enter, however, you do need to take a safer approach, as Mario can also grab a star with the question block and run through the level accordingly, if need be. But unfortunately, he loses his Hammer Suit. I did not expect to see that.
Yeah, like he was having like this aggressive approach to the dry bones, and I'm 100% sure that I don't know if he forgot to be, like trying to spawn the second dry bones, or like it was intended all the way, but that was really, really like unfortunate, because normally, or what I like to do when I enter to, like the basement in 7F2 is to, throw that hammer in hopes that, like I snipe the second dry bone, so I don't have to deal with it, and I try to stomp the first one, so I have like this really nice free way to preserve my hammer suit. But yeah, like we're not going to watch a hammer kill from Czikubi's side, like unfortunately. So and Jahaley taking a little bit of damage in this World 6 airship right now.
Yeah, I mean, he does have that mushroom right here that he can grab, so as long as he's able to maintain a pass lemon, he will be able to get a 7-1 clip out of him. So he's still good.
And let's see if Czikubi is going to be grabbing like the smart block in here. Yep. The smurf or moldy block that we like to call it. Or the Ethan block, but without the biceps.
Ooh, we see Jahaley going for the guaranteed standing clip for 7-1 setup by just approaching the wand with tiny taps to the left until it registers.
Like my only big question right now is that like if it works like on the Super Nintendo version, because having to see, like somebody playing this, it's just like, I don't know if it works, like all the strats, like all the muscle memory that I have, for the NES version works on the Super Nintendo, but let's hope that it does. Like he's about to enter right now, and yes!
He gets it! Love to see it, very nice.
Standing clip supremacy over here, guys.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Standing clip supremacy.
That's right.
Yeah, who is this guy, seriously? No, we pretty much get to see Jahaley going for the same strat as Czikubi in 7-2, that he's going to be bypassing that Nipper with the star, but oh my god, what a recovery! Oh my god! Wow, that was intense. Wow. I thought for a second that he was going to be like falling into that gap, and I was like preparing myself for the no, but at the same time I just got like the wow. That was incredible, seriously. Well, now Czikubi pretty much in the outer scroller land, like nothing too much to say about it, instead of noting that he likes to be like jumping from from left to right, and that's really awkward because like the anxiety can kick in by watching a runner do that.
But I mean, Czikubi's also a big Toho Project fan, so I'm sure he's all about the Danmaku and the bullet dodging. So this is his this is his area of expertise.
Oh yeah, you're pretty much right about that. And well, Jahaley pretty much navigating to the Aiden Abuse Island. That it's like that one with the Fort Knox. He's about to equip his P-Wing, going to finish up like this this fort, and then he's going to equip another P-Wing, and yeah, like he's pretty much done with that part of World 7. Now now I'm just waiting to watch, like which route he's going to get about like Clouding 7-9 or Clouding 7F2. What do you think?
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that he's going to Cloud 7F2. I could be wrong though. Yeah, as mentioned, he does have that extra P-Wing, so he will be able to fly over 7-6. Pretty much in Sandals, Jamaica at the moment.
Oh, Czikubi getting rangless, bro, over there. How much of a time save is that Wranglers?
I want to say it's about 2 seconds. Yeah, when you get a normal kill on the boomerang, bro, it could be either 165 or a 166 depending on whether he moves forward or not. But Wranglers tends to be a 168.
All right, and we get to see right now that Jahaley is about to enter to 7-7. Which it's not a bad idea considering that 7-8 can be scary, with those jumps at the beginning with those piranhas all the way. And Czikubi tried to go for the fire grab while having the fire flowers. So that was he wanted that 1,000 points so badly, but he got denied. And we're about to watch another airwalk, for the swag. Oh, and Jahaley is keeping 7-9 and heading to 7F2.
I am pleasantly surprised we get to see the best fort in the game on both racers.
And it's worth to mention that we're going to be watching, like the differences, like in the NES version and the Super Nintendo version, and that was a really close damage over there. And oh, he knew. Oh my god, nice recovery over there, Jahaley. Like he knew that he was going to have some troubles with that jump, like if he continued, and nice. Well, Czikubi, he was pretty much on the bridge, in the hand bridge, and he got grabbed by the best hand, like the middle hand. Unfortunately, it's not the best hand if you're like on PA pace, like seriously, that hand. Can you stop working for a second?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's the best hand because it's also the shortest, so, yeah, well, each of the hands are different lengths, like, I think hand 1 is about 15 or 16 seconds, yeah, hand 2 is definitely 15, and I want to say hand 3 is about 19, just in terms of, like, IL times. You also lose a second and a half from each hand animation, so if you get all 3, you're losing about a minute and 4 seconds. Oh no!
And Jahaley dying the World 7 airship and forced to be playing 7-9! Like, oh no, that's a huge, tough part for Jahaley right now. Like, I mean, that have happened to me before, but oh my god. You never want that to happen to, like, to any of your fellow runners, because, like, you're losing time because of, like, World 7 actually being an auto-scroller, and now just the fact that you bypass one of the levels with a cloud is not, like, just gone to the waste, and it's so sad for Jahaley right now.
Yeah, for sure. Taking the normal path through 7/9 cost about 40 seconds too, so it's pretty heavy punishment for a miscalculated jump.
Yeah, but he's pretty much out of there now. Like, I know that with Big Mario now, like he knows that he needs to be like more extra cautious right now. And Czikubi, it's pretty much entering to A2 right now. I think that yeah, there's not going to be any sense in this case, and it's about just to continue flying through this level as we can see.
We got some really clean snipes on Czikubi's side from 8-2. Very nice uphill.
Alright, Czikubi just entered into 8F. Let's see if he go for the 2-frame jump, and he does. And he's pretty much in a really good shape right now to continue on getting that nice conveyor P speed that actually saves like 2 seconds, right?
I want to say closer to 1, but
Oh.
yeah, that's yeah, it's still definitely a time save.
Getting that nice 1 cycle, and ooh, the way that he clipped through that, like without taking damage, and getting a really nice 376 on the in-game timer. Right now, Czikubi is pretty much like in a really spicy pace right now, and now let's hope that, you know, like this is still like anything can happen in Warpless, and you know, you could, you know, pull out the whistle before you enter to Bowser Castle.
So yeah, he had a 49-33 transition into the super tank, so he's on pace for a 51 right now.
Probably like the first 51 of the tourney. But let's see. We have seen cases in. Oh yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, we've seen cases that, you know, like you could get denied for that 51 with the stairs, with the Bowser pattern. Yeah, like since Czikubi is going to do that fire kill, a Bowser pattern can actually just ruin that 51 if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, taking damage at Bowser and having to do cuddle strats will cost you an extra 40 seconds.
Alright, BigChiefJahaley just entered into World 8 to the Outer Scroller Land, and we get to see that for this Super Nintendo version, we get to see like a really nice background, you know, like that it looks like a deserted land, like a war land or something like that, and it's it looks really, really cool. And Czikubi pretty much nailing the elevator tip right here. I'm going for the 1-up clip. Pretty much in good shape to enter to the statue room. Gets the P speed real nice. No slippery donuts over there, and Bowser be nice. Oh!
Oh no! Those rage pauses, I love it.
Yeah, you couldn't hear that, but I'm pretty much that was like a Czikubi noise moment over there. Like, you never want that to happen in a hero. That's why we use the hammer suit, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that's why we use a hammer suit. That pattern is not that often, right? Like in Bowser, like it's a 1 in a million time like pattern, but Czikubi just, yeah. Well, it happens. It happens to everybody, to be fair, but you always seem to see that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how rare that particular pattern is, but it's it happens just often enough that everybody's gonna encounter it at some point. But nevertheless, everybody get your GPs out for Czikubi with ending with a 52-27. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely a really nice performance for Czikubi. and he's pretty much advancing now to the round 3. And if I'm not mistaken, let's give a look to the brackets. He's about to encounter himself against True Hyper Mario in round 3.
That'll be an exciting match for sure. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, right now, pretty much Jahaley on his, closing out like this navy, or in the halfway through the navy. He's about also to enter to the hand bridge, so let's guess how many hands is Jahaley going to have. I'm going to say 0 hands, like we need this man, this awesome guy, like getting 0 hands.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna back you on that one. I'm definitely keeping my fingers crossed for 0 hands as well.
Alright, 3 stumps on that boom boom, and he's out of there. Now we pretty much entered to the handbridge, and so close! He was so close!
Even if it was just for a brief moment, I had my hopes up.
Yeah, I hold my breath as well because I wanted to see like that nice and clean 0 hands. But well, we get to see 2 hands today. The middle hand from Czikubi, and the final one from Jahaley, which he managed to bypass all over like with that nice piece strat. And I'm pretty positive that he was keeping his lift, because this Air Force is comfier while you use the leaf, because you're pretty much hovering all around.
Yeah, and I think that's perfectly valid. You'll also have an opportunity to either pick up a Fire Flower in 8-1, or he could just damage boost and use his tail strats in a number of different ways. So I think he's in pretty good shape.
Now we get to see also, I think that that Jahaley has a particular strat in 8-2, which I think that we have seen that before as well, because you normally equip that leaf and then you fly through those music blocks, and you pretty much are in good shape, to damage boost yourself right at the end. But yeah, that move, that strat, I actually learned it from him, so yeah. Alright, Jahaley pretty much finishing out the Air Force, about to enter to 8-1. Trying to navigate it nice and safe. You don't want to take a death in here. Damage boosting over there and nice speed. Oh, but he lost it. Ooh, all the dodges. Whoa.
Oh no!
Woo! Oh my god, Jahaley. Doing? Who is this guy? Oh my god.
Yeah, 8-1 has a magical way of forcing improvisation skills to come to the surface. I'm glad that we got to see Jahaley's in particular shine.
And right, like I mentioned before, he was about to use the leaf strat, that he's going to pretty much getting that P speed, but then he's about to gain it again to bypass all those music blocks, and then he's pretty much in good shape just to damage boost, or well, he opts to tail whip that plant, and playing it safe, as you like to see it. Alright, Jahaley, considering that he also went for the skipping 7-9, he was about to play this fourth. which it looks quite different on this Super Nintendo version, but like the essence it's still the same. Like he needs to go for that nice. Oh, okay, he
Accidental up input there.
Yeah.
Oh no, and he clipped the P switch, so I'm dubious about his chances of getting the one cycle.
You got it, you got it. Oh, that was so close! Oh, yeah. That was really, really close.
Yeah, I think at this point it would probably be most advisable for Jahaley just to take the damage boost and get to Boom Boom as aggressively as possible, since he does have that hammer suit ready and waiting for him for Bowser's Castle.
Alright, now there's only 2 levels, pretty much in between Jahaley and the... So, it's about to enter to the final auto-scroller of the game, the Super Tank. And since Jahaley is going to be moved out to the lower bracket, I'm taking a guess that he's going to be facing, let me check, Malachi Bros on his next match. So, Malachi, you got already your opponent, and I'm pretty positive that you guys are going to be, scheduling your time like in the near future. Looking forward for that match as well.
Yeah, speaking of tournament match scheduling, we do have another one coming up later this evening at 11 p.m. Eastern. We have Human Mustard versus iBooba7, and it's, I believe, going to be commentated by BigChiefJahaley himself and the Bagler 5. And then on Wednesday we have Bagler versus Alice, and then we have quite a few matchups on Friday and Saturday. So do be sure to check out the schedule for more information on that.
I'm pretty much excited for those ones, for those matches as you mentioned, because like the Bagler versus Alice, it's pretty much something reminds me about like the late 2020s when these guys were starting out, like learning the game, and they were doing, like casual friendly races, and I know that they always put up like a really nice show over there. And right now, Jahaley pretty much entering into the Bowser Castle with his hammer suit. Like he's going to be skipping. Oh my god! He's going to be skipping the stairs with that clip. That's really cool. Really nicely done by Jahaley.
Alright, he's just one room away from Bowser, and pretty much GG for him as well. Be wary of those fireballs. You got this.
Play it safe.
And we're in there. So hi Bowser and bye Bowser.
No! Oh my god! Oh my god, that was... Wow! Clutching that hammer kill! Oh my god, that's impressive.
Yeah, I saw that the hammer kills in All Stars is a little more awkward, but yeah, I take it that this is not Jahaley's first rodeo, so he knew what he was doing. He's just putting on a show for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody get your GGs out for BigChiefJahaley as well. They both put on a fantastic show for us, so yeah, we'll be reaching out to them shortly. We'll see if any of them are interested in joining us for an interview. And we are joined in the commentators booth by BigChiefJahaley. Big GG's to you, my main man.
Thanks. What a race. I will preface by saying that I did not have any illusions of beating the mighty Czikubi. I mean, it was an honor to get to race against one of the best racers to ever play the game, so that felt really cool. Little NES complications. My EverDrive got stuck into my NES in a non-functioning position, which is why we're playing All-Stars.
Oh no, yeah. That was actually the first question I was going to ask. I thought that was a pretty interesting decision to go with the All-Stars version. I remember when I first started watching you run SMB3, you were doing it on the All-Stars version, so I just kind of figured you wanted to do a throwback to that.
Yeah, no, I have the older EverDrive, and the little SD card sometimes like to shoot out when the cartridge is in the down position.
Oh no.
So I just didn't want to deal with ripping out. But that was a lot of fun. I had a blast. I did notice for most of the chat there, I had a big fan. I don't remember their name now, but I want to say a big shout out to them.
Yeah, it was a
But yeah, tough race, and I did not expect anything less from Czikubi when I saw the 52-29. I was like, oh man. But all around fun. I didn't die in 6F2, and that was kind of the highlight of my race because I die in every single race in 6F2.
Yeah, Czikubi is one of the first people I had a chance to meet in the SMB3 community, and he just pretty much shot to the top in just such a short amount of time. He's definitely going to be someone to look out for in this bracket moving forward.
Yeah, he's gonna be. It's gonna be a good match next week with True Hyper Mario, but True Hyper is definitely gonna have his work cut out for him. But I felt really good, you know, for playing on All Stars and for some of the goofy mistakes I made. Dying in Kurt's easiest fortress or an airship on World 7 was good.
Oh yeah, that hurt for a lot of us to watch. Yeah, we were kind of wondering how you were feeling in that moment.
I'll be honest. After where did I have my initial goof up? So was it World 4 or World 5? There was somewhere I had a big goof, and I was like, you know what? I wasn't really nervous the whole race because I already knew what the outcome was going to be. Because I mean, you gotta be honest. You're racing like one of the best to ever play the game. So, you know, and I'm not one of the best to ever play the game. But I have a blast, and I have so much fun. I want to give a shout out to Northman, myself, for putting this together, and you and Sharkid for the amazing commentary. I can't wait to go back and listen to it. I briefly popped in the chat for a minute here or there just to see if everyone was enjoying the show, and it looked like everyone was, so that was awesome.
Yeah, I would certainly like to echo that sentiment. Big thank you to Northman for organizing this, and a big thanks to SpeedGaming for being a wonderful host for us.
And thanks to Czikubi for the race, and I'm very glad that I didn't expect anything less from Czikubi. I'm very pumped to see Czikubi putting up those times, and I can't wait to see how far Czikubi progresses through this.
Yeah, Czikubi was actually on 51 pace, but then he had the bad pattern from Bowser because he had to do the fire kill, so he ended up doing cuddle strats in the end.
Any rage pause?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, the way that you mentioned it, yeah, like as soon as he got like that pause, like I mean that part, he was pretty much like just pausing in and out.
And I can't blame him though. I mean, a runner of his caliber, certain things like that are just, you know, I don't want to say goofy mistakes, but like those things can happen to anybody. But when that type of stuff happens, it's got to make you get a little bit angry when you know what I mean, that you can do better than that. But you know I could do better when I did, but I gave it my best, and I'm glad everyone had fun.
Yeah, Jahaley, this was an enormous pleasure to watch and to commentate for. So thank you to both of you for putting on a fantastic show for us.
Yeah, thanks again, Czikubi, for the race. I know he said in race time that he had to go get ready for work, so I really appreciate him taking the time to so we can have a flexible schedule here to race together, and what a blast.
Oh yeah, and I can actually wait now for comments for the next match, like in between Buva and Musta.
Me and Bagler got that? The gruesome twosome's gonna have fun with that one. I know how much Booba and Bagler love each other.
Yeah, and I'll be pretty much just waiting for how that what's going to be the outcome for that race, because you know, like the one that it's sent to the lower bracket, it's going to be facing me, so I'm kind of shaking right now.
Yeah. I think I get to face Malachi Bros. It's going to be a good race. I've been paying attention to some of what Malachi's been doing recently and cracking off some PB, so I'm definitely not going into that race lightly either. I hope I'll have my NES all buttoned up by then, so hopefully I can give a little bit of a closer match.
Yeah, Malachi's a wild card because I know that he likes to go for some pretty advanced strats, and when they pay off, they really do in a pretty significant way, so definitely worthwhile to keep an eye on him for sure. Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. Between I've had a chance to do a lot of weekly and daily races with Ibuba and Bagler, and the outcome for those tends to change quite a bit. Sometimes Bagler wins, sometimes Ibuba wins, so I could definitely see this match coming up going either way, so definitely get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a really fantastic show. That was So are there any closing thoughts, Sharky, before we close out?
Well, also, thank you so much for Northman for putting out like this amazing tournament, you know, like gathering the whole community and being like being part of this is always so wholesome for me, and it's a wonderful thing to happen also. And thanks for us to SpeedGaming for having us, like commentating this, and for hosting the overall the tournament. And yeah, I'll pretty much catch you later, guys, like in chat when the Buba and Mustard race it's coming up like really late. I think it was like at 11 p.m. if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct, 11 p.m.
You guys don't want to miss out that. So yeah, it was a pleasure to be here, and thanks for joining in the co-com, Steaks.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. So yeah, do definitely give Jahaley and Czikubi a follow if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll see you on the other side. I'm Teeks88, Wish Arcade. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody. Just keep swimming.
Take care.